What's good, YouTube? In today's video, we're gonna be figuring out how did humans make dogs like pets and I know the whole thing about cats and other animals like that too. But today's video, we're gonna be focused on dogs, and make sure we hit that like button and the sub button before we get into it. But let's get into it right now. How humans accidentally created dogs.
For most of human history, wolves were monsters. If you were a human living 30,000 years ago,
So were they
hearing wolves at
wolves
night meant danger.
turned
You were
into
small,
dogs?
slow, and surrounded by
'Cause there's
predators that
wild
could smell you
dogs.
from miles away. Wolves hunted in packs. They had massive jaws, terrifying endurance, and eyes that worked far better in the dark than yours ever could. And yet somehow, out of all the animals humans encountered, wolves became our closest companions. Not horses, not cows,
So
not
wolves
even
turned
primates.
into dogs. That's what I'm hearing.
Wolves. Today there are more than 900 million dogs on Earth. They sleep in our beds, guard our homes, detect bombs, herd sheep, rescue people from avalanches, and wear little birthday hats while sitting next to cakes. But dogs were never planned. No human tribe sat down and said, "We should invent a fluffy animal that plays fetch." Dogs were created by accident. And the strangest part is that wolves may have started domesticating themselves before humans even realized what
To
was
make
happening.
it easier for
To
them to eat,
understand how this
probably.
happened, you have to
Because it
imagine
was
the world during the Ice
snowy.
Age. Around 20,000 to 40,000 years ago, humans lived as hunter-gatherers. Small bands of maybe 20 to 50 people moved constantly across enormous landscapes searching for food. Life was
Yep.
brutal. Most hunts failed. Winter killed people constantly. A broken leg could mean death. And at the edge of every human camp, just outside the firelight, wolves waited. Now here's the important part. Humans are messy eaters. Even during starvation, hunter-gatherers left behind bones, scraps, skins, and partially eaten carcasses. To a wolf, a human camp was basically a moving pile of free calories. At first, wolves probably approached cautiously. The bold ones crept closer. The aggressive ones got speared. The terrified ones stayed far away and got nothing. But somewhere in those wolf populations, a few individuals were different. Less fearful, less aggressive, more curious. Modern genetics suggests some wolves may simply have been born more comfortable around humans, and over generations, those wolves survived better than the aggressive ones. Instead of risking injury hunting dangerous prey themselves, they could simply follow humans and eat leftovers near camp. Over time, evolution slowly filtered wolves based on personality. The friendlier wolves got more food. The calmer wolves stayed closer to camp. The hyper-aggressive wolves died. And eventually, those wolves began changing physically too. This sounds fake, but scientists have actually watched something similar happen in real
So
time.
that's what I'm saying.
In
The wolves turned
1959,
into
a
dogs.
Soviet geneticist named Dmitry Belyayev started an experiment in Siberia using foxes. He wanted to understand how domestication worked, so every generation he selected only the tamest foxes for breeding. That's it. He didn't train them. He didn't teach them tricks. He simply bred the least aggressive foxes over and over again. And within a few decades, the foxes started behaving like dogs. They wagged their
Yeah, that
tails.
took almost
They
his,
whined
it
for
pretty much probably
attention.
took his
They
whole
licked
life
people's
to figure
hands.
out this.
But then something even stranger happened. Their bodies changed too. Their ears became floppy. Their snouts shortened.
Because
Their fur developed.
isn't it like that, like dogs and stuff don't have to have like the stuff like the wild wolves have? Because like the pointy ears, like even though it seems like crazy to us, like the pointy ears and stuff like wild animals have, domesticated animals don't have, because they don't need them to survive. The reason wolves and stuff have big ear, pointy ears or whatever, it helps them hunt and helps them be more alert. So if they're domesticated, they don't really need all that.
Patches of white. Their
I know
tails
ball, bro.
curled.
I know
And
ball.
strangely, when animals become less aggressive, their appearance often changes too. Scientists noticed that domesticated animals across many species tend to develop softer faces, smaller jaws,
I
patchier
wonder if it's
fur,
for
and
fear, like
floppier
I
ears
said,
almost
or not for
automatically.
fear,
The
like I
first
said, but for
proto-dogs
fear
may
or
have
for
started
like
looking less
hunting.
intimidating long before humans intentionally bred them. Imagine standing in an Ice Age camp and seeing wolves nearby that looked slightly smaller, slightly calmer, slightly less terrifying than normal wolves. Not pets yet, but not fully wild anymore either. And this may not have happened in just one place. Humans and wolves were likely forming relationships across huge parts of the ancient world at the same time. For thousands of years, this happened silently, no human realizing they were watching evolution unfold beside their campfire. And
Now I'm
humans
wondering
probably
about
noticed
cats,
the
bro.
benefits
I'm
very
wondering
quickly.
about cats.
Wolves hear things before humans do. They smell predators from huge distances. They track prey far better than humans can. A wolf hanging around camp was basically a living alarm system. If bears approached, the wolves reacted first. If strangers appeared, the wolves noticed. If prey animals were nearby, wolves could help locate them. Once both species started helping each other survive, the relationship accelerated. This is why dogs are considered the first domesticated animal in human history. Earlier than sheep,
For
earlier
hunting.
than goats, earlier than farming itself. And when humans eventually invented agriculture, dogs changed again in order to stay alongside us. As humans began farming and eating more grains, dogs gradually evolved to digest starch far better than wolves could. Think about how extraordinary that is. They were surviving with us before the invention of writing, before
That's
cities,
insane, bro.
before metal
That's
tools,
insane.
before the pyramids, and over thousands of generations, humans and dogs began changing each other emotionally too. When humans stare into a dog's eyes, both species release oxytocin, the same hormone deeply involved in bonding between parents and children. Wolves don't naturally do this with humans. Dogs do. Your Labrador staring at you lovingly is not random behavior. Evolution shaped dogs to emotionally connect with human brains. Dogs even evolved facial expressions that humans instinctively respond to. Those famous puppy dog eyes may have become more common simply because humans were more likely to care for dogs that looked emotionally expressive. Some anthropologists think
You see
dogs
that in
improved
even
human
like
hunting
adoption
success
centers
so
for dogs.
dramatically that
Like you see
humans
that
with
too.
dogs simply survived better than humans without them. Dogs may have helped humans spread across the planet, but domestication also came with a cost. Dogs lost much of what made wolves wild. Many modern breeds suffer severe health problems caused by human breeding. Pugs struggle to breathe. Dachshunds often develop spinal problems. Bulldogs sometimes cannot even give birth naturally. And yet traces of the wolf still remain inside them. When dogs circle before lying down, they may be copying ancient wolves flattening grass. When they howl, bury food, or twitch in their sleep, instincts from thousands of years ago are still surfacing. Inside every Chihuahua and every Husky is the
There's a
shadow of an
wolf
Ice Age
inside, bro.
predator. And maybe that's
W.
why dogs feel so different from every other domesticated animal. Cats live near humans. Cows tolerate humans. Horses work with humans. But dogs joined humans. They slept beside us while predators circled beyond the firelight. They crossed frozen landscapes with us. They guarded sleeping
They look
camps.
like more like
They followed
wolves
us
at
into
that time
storms,
to
migrations,
compared to this
wars,
today.
and entirely new continents. And somewhere along the way, the relationship became something deeper than survival. In Germany, archaeologists discovered a grave from around 14,000 years ago containing a man, a woman, and a dog buried carefully beside them. The dog had suffered from a severe illness as a puppy but survived for weeks or months afterward, which means humans likely cared for it intentionally. Think about that for a second. Ice Age humans struggling to survive in one of the harshest environments imaginable were still spending precious food, time,
That's
and
the heart.
energy
That's the
nursing a
soul that
sick
humans
dog back
have.
to
You know what I'm
health.
saying?
That is not just usefulness anymore. That is attachment,
That's
friendship,
care.
maybe even love.
Love.
For thousands of generations, humans and dogs shaped each other's survival, all because a few wolves became slightly less afraid of campfires. No master plan,
I
no
figure that's
grand
kind of what
invention,
it
just
was
scraps
leading to. You
beside a
know what I'm
fire,
saying?
cautious.
W video though. This was a crazy one. I cannot lie. I kind of figured it was some like other animal that made, you know what I'm saying? I thought, but if you enjoyed this video and you didn't know this is how dogs came to be, so close to humans, let me know down below. And what's the craziest part of the story? Just want to make sure y'all are watching. Y'all are informed, you know what I'm saying? But make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the sub button. It's been your boy. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.